And here we are with Game 2 of Round 3 of Swiss, once more taking at Excelsior Games in Bristol on the 11th of October 2014, myself on the left, playing Quetzal, and Josh from Bristol on the right, playing The Foundry. Now, I'll be perfectly blunt and honest with you, I hate playing against HB, and I realise now I put myself in the unenviable position of probably having to play HB every time I'm on camera. But unfortunately, my problem with HB is that Anarch absolutely suck against HB. I very, very rarely have the ability to go the distance. As soon as taxing ice goes up, I really begin to struggle. And I mean, potentially Anarch's okay against anything running a next sweep because it's all fairly low strength and you can begin to parasite and work it all down. But it's all the 4 strength, and I've got no man or no ability to actually get through all the multi-subroutines. Obviously, Knight is next to useless. Even Quetzal's ability isn't brilliant against HB. I mean, yes, okay, you can get through an Eli for 1 click, which is fine, but that's really about it. I mean, obviously, the next silver gets multiple subroutines, so that's also not hugely useful. All in all, I don't like playing against HB, especially with Anarch. It's a real struggle, and this deck is almost certainly not catered to deal with it. But with that in mind, I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. So I will hedge fund first click, I'm sorry, sure gamble rather. I will run R&D second click. I may have a medium in hand, I just want to test the water. And I will see an Eli, so that's fine. I will click and I'll break and I'll access. I'm not quite sure. Oh, of course, yep. So he's using Foundry's ability to go and get another Eli in hand, which is more than fair enough. And again, double Eli, yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. And I'll run, I'll see something else, which I can't do anything with. He wants to get the Eli there in hand. So, I mean, R&D is the place to attack against Foundry. It's well known. The fact is that typically what happens if Resin next Bronze, which I'll bounce off, what happens often is because all the ice is coming out of R&D, the agenda density in R&D tends to go up quite significantly, and so it's best, I find, I'm going to run click, see another piece of ice, so he's got some good stuff coming, unfortunately. So like I say, I want to focus in on R&D. I really do. I'm going to express delivery. I think that's only a one-off in my deck, but it does some halfway sensible work. I don't think I've seen anything too wonderful there, so probably a good job I did express delivery. Certainly Deja Vu is not that useful at this stage. So yeah, I really do. I want to attack R&D here. I want to try and get a medium down, and start really hammering it, because as often is the case, I think that's what I expressed delivery for there. Short gamble, that's probably my only choice, but it's better than poking the eye with a sharp stick. Yeah, attacking HQ will be okay if I can stop him from resing any more next ice, or if I could parasite it first. I haven't got a great hand there. I've got a Deja Vu, a Knight, and a Spinal Modem. And although the Spinal Modem will do good work on a Plascrete there, that's pretty awful. An Imp, that's not going to do me any favours, hence the reason why I'm drawing. I'm not seeing here what I need to see, there's no doubt about it. I'm going to play the Spinal Modem down. Ideally, I'd want to play it and use it to get the value out of it, but I'm just going to play it because I've got literally nothing else to do at this stage. He's going to double ice up the remote, probably install something into it. I've got an account siphon, but I can't do anything with it yet. I could potentially put the Knight on the next Bronze and siphon him. He's certainly low on funds. He hasn't seen any economy cards yet. All he's seen is ice, so that's not the end of the world. He's going to install. So I think I've got a plan here. I think the plan is to play the Knight, put it on the next. Yep. Siphon. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad I can predict my own behaviour. So obviously I just used the Spinal Modem credits to siphon him, take his money off, and then I think the next plan is probably going to be to run the remote and check to see what's at the bottom of it. See if he's trying to sneak an agenda out. If I don't, yeah, okay, good. I'll see an Ash, which I will certainly trash for 3. So that's good. That was positive. That was not, at least a good way to go in and do some damage. I've got a Deja Vu in hand, so I do have the option of bringing back the Siphon and going again. He's in an economic pit, so despite a less than ideal draw here, at least I'm in a good place financially. And I've got a good setup. He's going to take 3 credits. I'm going to see another Spinal Modem there. My draws have been Absolutely horrendous. I think I've got 2 deja vus as well now. Yep, 2 deja vus of Plascrete and Imp. And another Spinal Modem. Oh dear. Not what I want to see. So I'm going to run, click, and see another piece of ice. Another access with no joy. He's certainly got a lot of ice in there, as you would expect with a Foundry deck. He's going to ice up HQ, and he's going to take some more money. I'm not sure whether I maybe should have perhaps just siphoned him for 3 there. I don't think it would have gained me much, to be honest. I'm going to draw, see a Duggars, which is useful because the rest of my hand is absolutely shocking. So I'm probably going to play the Imp, which is what I'm going to do there, play 2 for the Imp. And I'm then, I think, probably going to play the Duggars. I'm going to play a Plascrete. Okay, interesting. I don't know what he's running yet, I haven't seen any influence, so it certainly makes sense. And I'm going to play the Duggars. So the idea is to get the cards I want that are decent out of my hand so I can Duggars next turn and hopefully actually see some decent cards. Duggars is great. Drawing 10. Fantastic! Who does not love that? Obviously he can trash it here, it is a resource and he's probably giving some consideration to that. Certainly I did. I thought I'm not really too worried. Looks like he's got an ABT in hand there at the very least. And we did discuss the ABT rulings as this game sort of progressed. Obviously the ABT ruling is that if he scores the ABT and installs a piece of ice, he can interrupt the rest of it, so to speak. So as long as he sees one piece of ice, it's worthwhile. So I'm gonna run. I knew he would expect me to use Duggars there, and so I was going, okay, I want to make you pay for it at the very least. So see Caduceus, which is absolutely ideal for him, because I can't get through it with a knight particularly effectively. Well, yeah, I could, but it's going to cost me 2 and 2 Spinal Modem credits. And another click. So I'm going to break the trace, not giving him any money. I think that may be a misplay, because it does preclude me now from going in and trying to take the agenda with Caduceus. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure. He's got enough money still to score the ABT, so that's less than ideal. I'm going to take a credit. I'm going to Deja Vu, and I'm going to Siphon here, I think. Yeah. So, yes, I think that's probably a decent way of doing it. He's going to res what's there. Hopefully not. No, he's not. So I'll pay the 2 Spinal Modem credits, I'll Siphon him, and I'll take 6 with another 2 tags and pass the turn. So he will... Oh, yeah, that was a pretty good top deck. He'll take money and successful demonstration. Yeah, that wasn't what I wanted to see. So, okay, I'm going to Duggars now because I know I can't get into the remote. I mean, I could, but he's got enough money to res whatever's behind it, so there wasn't a lot of point, really. So I'm going to ditch the extra Spinal Modem. And this is obviously the hardest thing. Ditch the Fem because I can hopefully go and retrieve or run it out. Another Duggars, another Fem, so that's both my Fems in the bin now. When am I going to make the classic mistake of putting the things in the bin that I need rather than the recursion? Yes, I am. I'm putting a Yogg in the bin, which is absolutely stupid. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm going to put a medium in the bin. I don't know what I'm doing. That's bad, 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 bad. Parasite. I'm not sure what I've kept. I think I've kept the 2 Deja Vus, which is not great, really. Deja Vu, I've got another Parasite in hand. I've got a Data Sucker and a Corroder. He's going to score the ABT, so here's where the thing triggers. He's going to see 3 cards, as long as one of which is a piece of ice, he's fine. I think he's actually looking pretty good. I think all 3 of them are ice there. I could be wrong. But if they are all 3 ice, I don't know why he'd interrupt himself. He might as well just completely lock me out. But this is the point where Anarch just dies a death against HB. It's the point where I'm going to get completely locked out. As soon as that successful ABT fires, I'm running the clock here. And although he's only on 2 points scored, I'm not feeling confident. So he's going to see a Lotus Field, which is less than ideal, and I'm pretty sure he saw like 2 or 3 pieces of ice there at the very least. So, but that's fine. He's going to interrupt himself. He's going to install, obviously, the Lotus Field, find another Lotus Field in the deck. I've seen a lot of influence now. Caduceus, Lotus Field, looks like he spent a lot of it on ice. Lotus Fields are not Anarch's best friend. Obviously I've got the Knight, but I've got no means of getting through the Caduceus yet either. I was hoping to find a retrieval run, so at the very least I could start installing Fems and the like. He's going to ditch 2 cards and pass the turn. I've got a Data Sucker, that will help. Pseudo economy in that regard, and that's exactly what I'm going to install first click. But Anarch just does not deal with these kind of taxing decks at all. I'm going to parasite the Eli. Again, I should have kept. If that was my plan, I should have kept the medium in hand rather than ditching it. But again, I'm going to run archives. See, and that's interesting. So he must have seen an agenda then, I guess. In his opening hand, he's got a hedge fund there, which is absolutely perfect timing, which he'll use. Really cannot argue with that. I think he's got an ELP there in hand as well. Enhanced Login Protocols. Shouldn't necessarily use the acronym. He's going to install over archives, try and stop my Data Sucker from getting too powerful. Parasite token, the virus token on Parasite. I'm going to run R&D first click, make him res some ice. But obviously making him res ice, it's not ideal. I'm going to have to bounce off the Eli. Because I don't have enough to actually go in and trash the one behind it anyway. So that's fine. Although obviously that does turn on a successful demonstrations. Which is a lot of money for him, potentially. But yeah, this is where I start to get decision paralysis, needless to say. Dirty Laundry with no good targets. And I've seen another Yogg there, I think, by the looks of it. And I'm going to take a credit and pass the turn. So I've got a Corroder, I've got a Yogg, I've got a Data Sucker on the board, I've got an Imp, I've got the Spinal Modem. I'm well set up, effectively. The problem I've got is that he is going to out-econ me here. He's going to clear virus counters, which isn't a bad shout, given that he's got archives iced up here and no easy targets. So it's going to slow me right down on R&D. And R&D is where the agendas are going to be. Having taken so much ice out of his deck, that's where the agendas are. I know that's where the agendas are, and unfortunately there's not a lot I could do about it. I think I just ran archives there and he didn't res the ice, so that was a surprise. I was expecting him to. I'll go again, take another one. I kind of feel like if you're going to clear virus counters, you need to kind of res the ice. And that's why, because it's an itchy. Fine, whatever. So obviously I'm on third click here, so I can only trash one of the break programs. So I'll click through one of them. He will trash the Data Sucker, which makes perfect sense. And the Trace goes off. Now the Trace is an issue. Obviously with the Spinal Modem out, I can't really afford to let the Trace go, so I'll definitely pay the 1 to get through there. I think I'm glad he didn't have more money there, because 2 brain damage would have hurt. Obviously with the Spinal Modem, any successful Trace gives me another brain damage, and 2 is somewhat problematic. He's going to install, I think that was an NAPD there. Let's see if he advances it, because that will be a sure tell. No, I don't think so. So I think he's going to pass the turn. I have to apologise about the light beaming through the window on this fine autumnal day. But here I'm in I'm in a horrible position here. Although he's just installed it into that remote, I don't think I'm in a position to go in and take anything at all. I'm kind of searching frantically here for either a retrieval run or for a mimic. Either will do nicely. And there's a retrieval run, so I've seen it in hand, so that's good. But also I need a whole click now to get through the chuffing Itchy. As soon as he cottons on to the fact that with a Spinal Modem out, Itchy becomes a heck of a threat, I suspect that Trace is going to cause me a lot of problems. So I'm going to need a whole turn just to retrieval run out of Fem, which will almost certainly there go on the Lotus Field. It lets me then get through the Caduceus as well, so that's positive. And suddenly I'm in a decent place. So I'm going to play a Corroder, and I'm going to take 2 credits and pass the turn. So I've got a retrieval run. That's good. He's going to hedge fund again. He's seen all the economy cards at the right time, which is good. And I'm hoping here, if I can put some pressure on R&D as well as on his remote servers, I can do some good work. If that's an Ash in the route of the remote server, that's going to cause me a lot of problems. I'm certainly not getting enough mileage here out of... I'm going to Deja Vu for a Data Sucker and a Parasite. Oh no, sorry, a Data Sucker and a Medium. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think I probably should have just retrieval run the Fem there and try and deny him a server to score out of. Yeah, I'm going to play the Data Sucker and pass. I'll take 2 and pass the turn. I'll take a credit and pass the turn. Not sure about that one. Not sure about that play. I think that could possibly be a misplay there. He's going to trash the Eli. And install. Probably another Eli. No, Milek. He's going to set up a new remote. And he's going to play the enhanced login protocols. So now I'm really struggling. Really struggling. Suddenly retrieval run is a lot less tempting. Oh no, retrieval run's fine because it's a run event, sorry, I tell a lie. That's fine. But obviously medium digging against R&D is going to be much more of a problem until I score an agenda. But R&D is going to be rife with agendas. They're all going to be there, damn it! I want them all! Could certainly be scoring out if he could. Looks like he's got a Bartic Labour in hand as well. Not that he particularly needs it with a secure remote. So I am going to retrieval run. It's only going to cost me the 1 click, so I pay 3. I'm going to click through the Itchy. And I'm going to gain a virus counter for that. And then I'm going to install a Fem. And I'm going to probably Fem the Lotus Field. Kissy kissy! So that's my turn. And I pass it over to him. He'll res an Adonis campaign. Undefended, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess he's probably right to at this stage. I'm not in a financial position to go in and trash it. It's going to cost me 2 clicks and 3 credits. Not particularly appetising, even if I do have a spinal modem to use. But I can't use it to trash, obviously. I can only use it for icebreakers. But I'm looking. The board's looking better now for me. The board is looking better. I've got a Data Sucker back on the board with a token. I've got a Fem on a Lotus Field. That's pretty sweet. I've got a Knight out on the board and a Corroder. The only thing I'm missing is a my Yogg, and then which is in my hand. Potentially, I'm in a good place. Financially, I'm not. Financially, I'm in a hole. He's going to install. He's going to advance that NEPD contract. So I know it's an NEPD. I can't afford to go in and take it as well as break all the ice that's in there. So I think, you know, I do weigh up the options. Effectively, I have 3 credits on the board with my spinal modem to be able to go in, but I can't steal it at the end of it. So I'm just going to have to let that one go, unfortunately. I'm going to take 2. Oh, I'm thinking about it. ELP. Oh, I'm going to run. Okay. I think that's probably a mistake. I'm going to play a Data Sucker and a credit and another credit. Is he going to res? He'd be silly to, because he might as well just let me hit the NAPD, which is exactly what it is, and I'll bounce off and pass the turn. So, you know, there's not much I could do there. I had to check it just in case it was something like an efficiency committee. I certainly couldn't let them afford to score that. I knew that in all likelihood it was probably going to be an NAPD contract, but also I'm not too worried about letting that one go. He's only on 2 points at the moment, about to be 4. So he will triple advance and score the NAPD. So it's 4 points to nothing. I certainly haven't had enough accesses here to make anything felt. Again, R&D has been locked down quite hard. I'm also going to see what is there, just to kind of give it a test. It's a next silver, which is going to gain 2 subroutines. He's going to go in and find another next silver with the Foundry's ability. So it's got 2 subroutines, but I do have a Corroder on the board at the very least, so that's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all. So I mean, potentially I could just pay 2 to get past the next silver with my credits, which is what I think I'm going to do here. So I'm going to use my Spinal Modem credits to get through the next silver, and then a click and a break to get through there. See another piece of ice. I haven't had a lot of luck here with my R&D accesses, but Again, without any multi-access, I haven't really made it count. But it was free. It was free to have a look, even if it cost me 3 clicks. You know, that's not the end of the world. I just need to get a medium or something down on the board to be able to make them count now. I'm going to take a credit, probably with that in mind. So he's gaining all the money off Adonis. He's in a really strong financial position now. And with an ELP out as well, I've got problems, there's no denying that. He's on 4 points, I'm on a grand total of zip. He's going to install Advance. Oh, boo. Probably another NAPD, which I certainly can't afford to steal. And I'm certainly giving some consideration here just to leaving it, because I can't afford it really. I mean, potentially here I could go in and siphon, but with 2 Adonis campaigns out on the board anyway, I'm not sure if it's going to accomplish a huge amount other than give me money. It looks like he hasn't got any other agendas in hand. All he's seen is his NAPD contract. He's going to install, and I think pass the turn now to me. So the question here is, do I go in against try and have access on R&D? Do I install the medium first? Yeah, it's going to take 2. I think that's a mistake. I still can't afford to go in and take the agenda. So run. So 1 to bypass, and a credit. So lower the strength, break. He will res another Eli, which I can't afford to get through. I can't click and break it because I've used all my clicks with the LP out on the board. Yeah, less than ideal. So I think here I'm just going to bounce because I'm expecting it to be an NAPD contract at the bottom, and there's no point paying 4 credits to get through and see an NAPD. Yes, of course it could be an efficiency committee, but I'm just going to take the risk. I'm going to bounce off. He's going to take his money. Now he's going to triple advance score and NAPD. So it was the right play to leave it. Probably a little bit of a risk, but I think it was the only option really I had at that stage in the game. I had to keep the money on the board, particularly here because I want to get the medium out, and I think that I've been missing a trick waiting so long to get a medium out on the board. I've got it in hand and I just haven't used it. And although I'm only going to getting 1 access a turn on R&D, if I'd been doing that for 2-3 turns, I could be stopping him from scoring any agendas. I could completely R&D lock him, force him to purge virus counters every other turn, and I could be doing some good work. And as soon as the LP goes, suddenly I'm laughing I say. So I'm going to dirty laundry R&D again. Why don't I play the medium? I don't know, but I'm going to run. I'm going to access and score a Vitruvius, which pops off ELP, which is a positive thing. And obviously gain the money from dirty laundry as a result, so at least I'm in a good financial position. I think, obviously as a run event, so it didn't cost me 2 clicks anyway, it cost me 1 click, and obviously I used the click to get through the Eli. But I should almost certainly here be thinking about playing the chuffing medium that I have there in hand and that I should be using, or siphoning him. Either way, it's a viable option here. So I'm going to deja vu. I'm going to deja vu a parasite, 2 parasites, because obviously it's a deja vu, makes sense. And I'm going to parasite the next silver. And trash the imp because I'm over my memory limit. So that's not a bad play. That's a good option because now he's going to Bartek out the yeah, Bartek out the ABT for the win. I think he top decked the ABT there. So again, misplays on my part, I'm going to suggest, but he just got locked out early. I hate HP against when I'm playing Anarch. It just doesn't ever seem to work. I just get taxed beyond high heaven. But he played very well there. Saw the early ice he needed and was able to split the round, taking me on to round 4. And I hope to see you there, ladies and gentlemen.